If we don't make drastic changes, especially centered around our mindset, the Gambian man will be left behind.
Biggest challenge when I talk about investments in Gambia, no one has data.
We are insecure and still holding on to a false sense of patriarchy around why a woman shouldn't, quote unquote, be more successful than you.
Yep. One wants to be successful individually. It's not encouraged to come together and work together as groups to own businesses together or even launch ventures together.
Welcome back to the Jola Meets the Muddy podcast. We're back again for another episode. For those of you who don't know us, my name is Ebrima, also known as Uncle E. We are the Jola Meets the Muddy podcast, and my co-host today, my wingman, my general, he has left us. He's out on sabbatical. So, Anzo, we miss you, but we have permission from the general for the show to continue. This podcast is about two African millennials canoeing through this thing called life, where we talk about our perspectives as African millennials living in the diaspora, living here in these United States, the challenges we go through, understanding our identity, our very unique cultures between being in the United States and back home, our history and our music, our love for food. So it really is our conversational gathering on all things African. So if you are returning, thank you for listening to us. We appreciate your support. And if you're new, welcome. Join the Banta Bar and let's get to it. So today we're going to the smiling coast of Africa. As a fellow Gambian, today we're going back home. It is my honor to have two Canifing boys. Two Canifing boys are here today.
Yes, sir.
Our special guest is no other than, I'll let him introduce himself, but a quick context as I draw the suspense. You know, he's really has quickly become a good brother of mine. I appreciate him. And as two Gambian men, our experiences are so common and relatable, and we have a passion for our self-improvement and growth. But please welcome to the podcast as our first special guest, Mr. MamGoree. Welcome, brother. Welcome, brother.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
That's a great introduction, man.
Yeah, how you feeling, bro? How you feeling, man?
Feeling honored, man. Yeah.
Shoosh.
Been a big fan of this pod for a long time.
Yes, sir.
So it feels really nice to be able to share, my perspective on, like you said, our experiences.
Yeah.
Being millennials in the diaspora. So I'm very honored to be here.
Man.
So, like I said, like he said, from Canifing,
Canifing boys, the Canifing boys are in the house,
Yeah.
So, no, I'm glad to have you. I'm so used to Anzo doing these intros, so it took me a minute to land the plane, but we landed.
You landed.
So, one thing we ask all our guests on this podcast is, where are you really, really from?
That's a very interesting question. Very good question. As the intro may have given it away, I'm from the Gambia. I have a particularly interesting background. Gambia is a predominantly Muslim country. So I come from a very interesting family dynamic. Right? I'm born and raised Muslim. My father came from a Christian family, Christian background, raised. So he's a Muslim revert. So I get to see best of both worlds growing up. My mom was Fana, and my dad is Syrian, but Aku at the same time.
Interesting.
Which is a very interesting topic in itself.
Wow, melting pot. melting pot from a religious and from a, I guess,
cultural
ethnic group
as
well.
Exactly. So you get a very unique perspective on growing up in Gambia, and also obviously moving here, pursuing education, trying to just be the best as we can, maximize potential
as we should.
That perspective continues to evolve.
Yeah.
Right. So that's who I am. I represent Canifing, but in Gambia, Gambia's kind of small, so
It
you
is
gotta
very
move
small.
around.
It is very small, guys.
But you guys clean on.
We're talking about 5 minutes distance. Yeah.
So yeah, that's who I am, man.
Yep.
That's who I am.
Well,
Thanks.
welcome. So mom, as very passionate Gambian men in terms of wanting to see our progress, I do think based on conversations we have, we are very much behind
Yep.
in our progress right now as the diaspora. Would you say so?
Agreed.
Like,
Tough. Agreed.
we're behind.
Yep.
We're simply behind, and we've been having a lot of conversations in trying to diagnose and understand from a diaspora perspective. If we don't make drastic changes, especially centered around our mindset,
Yep.
the Gambian man will be left behind. We will be a footnote in the success stories of the diaspora, and we have no one else to look at but ourselves.
100%. 100%.
So we thought of how can we best do a deep dive analysis on what are some of the major limiting factors centered around our mindset and our mentality as Gambian men that prevents us from progressing in the manner that we want to.
Yep.
So today for this episode, we have 5 thesis statements.
Yep.
Might be unpopular. We might lose some friends today, bruh.
Hey, it's hot takes today. So
We're going to go there.
brace yourself.
We're going to go there. We're going to be unfiltered.
Yep.
And we're going to each share
Yep.
5 major debilitating hard truths
Yep.
centered around our mindset on what prevents us from really being a success.
Yeah.
Both in the diaspora and homeland.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You ready, bruh?
I'm ready. And bear in mind, like, these are things that we've experienced firsthand.
These are lived experiences.
Lived experiences, and also like looking in the mirror as well too. So it's not distant, So I think that's what I like about these topics, because we both have experienced these things, and we also in some ways have learned to try to overcome these things.
Yep.
So
exactly.
Yep.
So we'll begin. Here we go. I have my first thesis statement.
Do the honors, man.
So are you ready for this
Do
first
the
one?
honors.
All right, here we go. Thesis statement number 1. Gambian men are arguably the laziest in West Africa.
Can't disagree. Elaborate.
So I just think from a mentality standpoint, we seek comfort.
Very true.
And the moment we attain comfort, we no longer wish to grow. We don't have an ambition that is driven around maximizing whatever our pursuits are. Whatever the Gambian man has the first level layer of what comfort looks like in his mind,
that's it.
The growth mindset of wanting to achieve more doesn't exist. Compared to the average West African, I think we're the least ambitious.
Yep.
We're the least driven. We're not also kind of architects. We like to be workers, but we don't like to be architects. And if you look at it here in the diaspora, bro, how many Gambians can we say from a collective group? We've been coming here since the 70s, 60s. How many have risen to the top of what their pursuits were to be in positions of influence, to be in positions where they can create pipelines for Gambians like us? Maybe when we came to the US, we had a robust, strong network that can pull us together. That didn't happen. No. We came here and had to build from scratch. So what is the reason for that? Why are we not leaders in industries across this country? And why haven't we pushed that boundary beyond where we need to be? Good so questions. I just think from a mindset collectively, when I look at the average West African man from when we were in college, when we were in the ASAs, the drive, the determination that you saw from, I hate to give them credit, the Nigerians,
absolutely,
the Ghanaians.
Facts.
It's a different level than the Gambian. He's just, let me just get a good job, get paid. I can pay my bills, I can be comfortable. That's it.
That's it.
It's all good. We don't have that growth mindset. So that's why I think we are arguably the laziest in the sub-region.
Can't disagree. can't disagree. And you don't even have to go far to see that. You take it back to the source, right? We go look at Gambia.
Mm-hmm.
We look at our middle class, or we look at even like the working class. The the working class people in Gambia. I mean, if we're really truly gonna say working class, are foreigners that are doing some of these jobs.
They're the hardest
The
workers.
hardest workers. They're doing all the jobs that Gambians deem low, below them or below us. Like that shows us that we don't have the drive.
No,
We all grew up with foreign teachers.
that's true.
All our teachers,
Nigerians,
90% were
Kenyans, Sierra
Sierra
Leoneans,
Leoneans, Ghanaians,
Ghanaians.
Nigerians. Why aren't Gambians teaching Gambians?
I mean, that just tells you right away.
That's one piece. Then we look at like some of the vendors, people who have shops,
Shops.
trade, businesses. Most businesses growing up were not owned by Gambians,
Yep.
except for the small little shop corner.
Yep.
So that tells us that and it's back to I like what you said about being an architect. Vision, thinking bigger.
Yep.
It's a problem. We see limitations instead of seeing ways to break down these barriers. We don't look for solutions. I think that's one of the problems is we accept some of these barriers that are virtually there as just a constraint to life. That this is what we are destined to be.
But that's what cripples us.
Cripples us.
And this is why, if we become a footnote in the diaspora when it comes to the success of diasporas, and in the mainland, like you said, the foreigners will come outwork us every single time.
Every time.
They will dominate our industries. And we're going to be left with nothing but holding on to our pride and being workers, not owners, not architects, not visionaries.
Correct. That's the true symptom of
we need to sharpen tools, man. And I think it's us, the men.
Yeah.
We really need to sharpen tools.
Absolutely.
So that's just one diagnostics I would say on what holds us back from our progression as people.
Agreed. Well said, man.
Thesis one.
Thesis one.
All right, let's go to another one.
Well said.
I hand it over to you, sir.
So thesis two, and this you probably have experienced as Gambian men in the diaspora. We have a tendency to be guilty or feel guilt in place of setting boundaries. We have so much burden and pressure once you migrate out of Gambia, and you almost don't give yourself grace. And the pressures of trying to live your life outside of your country, manage your family and your affairs, and also balancing that with managing family and affairs back home, cripples us. Because one, you're just one person. You only have 24 hours in a day. So how can you? How do we find that balance of knowing when to say no to things that are beyond our capabilities at that moment, and not feel that we are betraying our family or our people? There's a lot of times, and we all share these experiences where we're breaking our backs almost all the time,
and they don't know
to fulfill requests that that are pretty much impossible. That I think is crippling our potential in the diaspora. We could do a lot more if there was a realistic expectation of what we are able to do, given what we're trying to chase.
Of course. The tax is heavy.
It's heavy.
And I don't think anyone should feel guilty around setting boundaries, especially you don't owe anyone anything back home. You don't owe your childhood friend anything.
Nothing.
You don't owe the family member who has no benefit, only checks upon you to ask you money. You don't owe them anything. You should draw those boundaries and cut them off. We were just talking about it. Nothing is more disappointing than that one old friend that you had great memories as a child manages to have your WhatsApp number. You randomly hear from your friend and you're excited. You're like, oh boy, boy, what's up, man? Long time, blah, blah, blah. And right then and there, problem. This is my problem. This is what's going on. And it is heartbreaking.
It's heartbreaking.
It's disheartening when you just know that someone, they only see you as ATM. We're not ATMs. We're not ATMs. And it's actually, I find it disrespectful to actually take advantage of the relationship I had with you as a child growing up in the Gambia, to think that is now a measure of you wanting me to fund your problems.
Yep.
While I have my own life here in the US.
Yep.
And that's the problem. We don't know how to cut those straws,
Yep.
those lines. We need to draw those boundaries. You don't owe anyone anything back home.
Yep.
If you're here, you're building yourself, you're establishing your savings, you're providing for your family.
Yep.
That's the number
That's your
one priority.
priority.
You don't owe anyone back home anything.
Absolutely. That's your number one priority. And again, you should be comfortable just saying, no, I cannot do this at this point in time.
Just say no, bro. I would just say no. Duma ko def. Ma ben. We need to start saying kida fa sahar.
No,
you know, like we really need to. Someone, you know, is always say if they say kida fa sahar, or they you get accused of such, it means it's a good thing. That's a compliment. I think that's a compliment.
Right. And also there's this this notion that the moment you can do something for someone, but the moment you say no or change now, this person is not. You know, I'm even speaking Wolof right now.
Yeah.
They say change now.
Change now. You know, you think you're better than us all of a sudden. Boo-hoo. No. Bad luck. I don't care. You need to move on. Like that. I'm not here to fund your life. I don't. It's not. I don't owe you anything.
And I think the reality that people sometimes forget about is when a lot of the times when people move to the diaspora or Africans, you're starting from negative. When I say zero, it's actually, if you start from zero, you're lucky. You're starting from negative. From nothing, right? Because 9 times out of 10, you don't have family here that's well established to support you. You run into student loan debt or card note debt.
Do they know what we have to go through here?
It's a lot. So if you want to, and it's a balance of you trying to say, for me to be successful and live a life where I can also have build a future for my kids, your measure is not the same measure as what you would need when you're back home.
For sure.
So people don't understand the difference. Yes, maybe the amount of money that I make here, if I send it back home, it'll go far.
Yeah, go
but
far.
That's amount of money doesn't go far here.
Exactly.
Right. So you end up not having a savings. You end up, working 2-3 jobs. You end up doing all these things that are detrimental to your mental health, your physical health, and just overall, just not good for you as a person, for your growth. Because some of that time and energy that you're spending just to provide and be, I would hate to say an ATM, you could be spending improving your skill set, investing in yourself.
Investing in yourself and your family.
Right. And the way I see it,
that lives with you there.
Exactly. And the way I see it is if someone invests in themselves, they actually put themselves in a much better position to be able to help you in the future and even impact more lives.
You gotta know
rather than short term.
That's what it is. I mean, that's a great point. So that means you gotta learn how to say no. Us as Gambian men, we have to learn how to say no.
If you don't got it, you don't have it.
You ain't got it, you ain't got it.
If you got it though, hey, bismillah.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man.
Do what you got.
I'm telling you. So, okay, I get it. Again, stop feeling guilty for setting those boundaries.
Yep, 100%.
All right. So we're moving on to our third thesis here. Mm-hmm. You ready?
I'm ready, man.
Building a house in Gambia, it's not an investment. It's a vanity project.
Hot take.
Do not spend that $100,000 buying that apartment.
Yep.
Do not spend that $100,000 building a house while you live in an apartment in Bronx.
Yep. Oh, man. My Bronx people are gonna BX. They're gonna feel
the math. It's not math.
It don't math.
If you have a family, you're mortgaging your kids' futures that could be put in a 529 an investment account
100%.
For their college fund. You're mortgaging it
Guaranteed
for a
growth.
house that you're not even gonna live in. You're maybe gonna go once or twice a year. That house is gonna depreciate.
Yep.
Let's not even talk about maintenance.
Yeah.
That house, that apartment is going to depreciate. If I have that $100,000, you and I, you go and build that house in Gambia. I say, you know what? Even if I don't have the family, I'm going to put that in an S&P 500.
5 years.
In 10 years, you have a depreciating asset.
100%.
I have compounded interest.
100%.
So why are we building these homes where we don't even live? We go there once or twice a year. They're collecting dust. Is it merely a status symbol for make you feel like you've made it in America?
You've succeeded. That's the measure of success.
Investing in Gambia is not a good financial decision.
The market,
quite frankly, it's just not buying unless you have a real estate portfolio.
Yeah.
You have multiple assets, and from that perspective, you just want to have an asset back home in the Gambia, that you understand that it's a depreciation asset.
Correct.
That's what then I would recommend. Buying homes, building apartments in Gambia, they're not good investments, quite frankly.
Oh, it take a long time.
They're not.
For you to get your ROI. Very long time.
What's your ROI, boy? What's your ROI? That's just what I want to know.
Because your ROI is getting back in dollars. So the conversion doesn't even add up.
So we just need to stop that. If you're abroad, focus on securing the future of your family
100%.
versus mortgaging it to satisfy your ego by saying, mo sampa kerbini, hai gisulo keram, blah, blah, blah.
That's
like, come on, let's be real. It's an ego trip.
It's an ego trip.
Let's stop this. We need more financial advisors in our community.
100%.
That doesn't exist, because all I see is bad financial decisions when it comes to these real estate decisions.
And I think what's shocking is is being here and finding out how many people that are in that live in first world countries rely on financial advisors to make financial decisions.
They're experts. That's their expertise. Who gives us financial? Why to my uncle? I have now, because my cousin back home told me, hey, buy this apartment. They look really good. Or if you buy a land here, it's gonna no data, no facts, nothing to actually prove why that investment is you're gonna get ROI. But you're gonna listen to your brother, your cousin that tells you that, trust me, I know these people you're gonna make your money back.
I think you touched on a crucial point. I think this is my biggest challenge when I talk about investments in Gambia. No one has data. There is no data to back up any of these. It's just hope. It's basically inshallah and vibes. It's, man, this can convert. Show me a business plan where you've made where this has worked. Show me someone who has done this primarily and has a track record of success. If you're not the big the big players like the Tufts, the big businessmen, you're not really making.
But even then,
you're not successful.
Even them still, we look at here when we buy homes, Zillow, we'll see the area, we'll see what the average appreciation is, we'll see historical pricing.
Yeah, you can get this data.
You want me to go and buy the apartment in Bigelow and Brookfield? Can I see last 5 years on apartments that were bought? What was the cost and how much when did they sell? And how much did it sell for? Did it appreciate by how much? I have no data to actually make good financial decisions on, but we're seeing that being done en masse.
Yes. If we're looking at risk levels, these are the
high risk.
But
here's the thing, we can't afford that. When we're talking about, this is someone's life savings here in America. This is someone's, again, because it's back to our first thesis.
Yes.
Collectively, we on average, the average Gambian who's been in the US, have they amassed a net worth more than $1 million to be able to write off a bad investment in Gambia? That's their one-all.
Yes, that's
this is they've worked here 20, 30 years to build that
all
home.
That overtime.
All that OT, that clocking in, clock out, double, triple shifts.
Just dumping all of that.
You know what happens when you go and realize you made a bad decision? You come back and work again.
Yeah.
At like 65, 70s.
You can't retire.
You can't retire.
Yep. You've dumped all that money in there.
So we need to stop that.
Yeah, we need to. Unless you're trying to go retire back home.
But look,
that's different. If you're trying to go retire back home, maybe that's a good plan. But if you're as an investment, no.
Don't tell me buying a home in Gambia is an investment. Like it's a vanity project.
A vanity project. All right, man.
you next, bro.
We're on a roll. So this is thesis number 4.
Okay.
This one is gonna touch a lot of nerves.
Sheesh.
But we have to talk about it.
Okay.
Stop being insecure when your fellow Gambian woman is more successful or ambitious than you.
Hey!
Stop being insecure. We have a huge ego problem as African men in general, but I would strictly speaking about Gambian men. Your head of the household is a title that we take so seriously that I find it confusing that if you have a successful wife, that should just make life easier. But instead, we take it as a challenge to our masculinity. We take it as some sort of a threat that your wife would control, make decisions in the house. How do those two things correlate? That's just a made-up mindset.
100%.
It's a made-up. It's made up. There's nowhere. There's nowhere where it says that having 2 incomes in a household should make your life worse. The math does not make sense. If you have a successful, ambitious, driven wife or woman, we should celebrate them. You should uplift them.
One would think so.
But instead, we say, we try to tear them down.
Yeah, we try to tear them
put them in
down.
their place, keep them from growing, and it's detrimental.
100%.
Because if you look at it, the women are actually way more ambitious, and they work harder than men.
That is 100% fact. The average Gambian woman is way more ambitious and hardworking.
Yeah.
I would say at least 3 times more hardworking and ambitious than the average Gambian Gambian woman.
This is like across everything. If you look at like school systems,
across all sectors, across
all sectors.
From education to professional field to in the diaspora, the Gambian woman is more driven, and most of the time more successful in their in what they pursue in their fields than the average Gambian. So we can't even afford to be insecure about Gambian women being successful. We cannot.
We need it.
We need them. We actually need them. That's the crazy thing. We actually need them. We're already saying we're not hardworking.
Yeah.
We need to roll up our sleeves. Here we are. We have our women that are so determined, anchors, pillars of our communities. We should be celebrating them, admiring them back home and here. Absolutely. Gambian women have made us so proud in the professional field in what they pursued. And here we are insecure and still holding on to a false sense of patriarchy around why a woman shouldn't, quote unquote, be more successful than you.
And it's not, and honestly, that doesn't define your masculinity. It just means that your masculinity was built on hierarchy. It wasn't built on.
You're making up in your mind. It's coping.
It's not built on confidence. Because if you're a confident black man, if you're a confident man, you should not be threatened by.
But it's insecurity. We're 100%. We're 100% insecure.
100%.
And it's a huge problem. And shout out to all our Gambian women.
Absolutely.
Keep doing what you're doing.
Keep doing what you're doing, man. Don't listen to
these fellas, man. Look.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Hey, let them step up, bro. Yeah. Step up. Step up.
That should inspire you.
Step up. Exactly. That's what it should be.
I feel like if I see a fellow brother or sister that's doing very well, I'm going to be so inspired. I should be learning from them. What did you do? I want to know what you did so I can maybe use some of those lessons to improve myself.
Facts. I agree. 100%.
But sometimes it comes down to jealousy as well, too.
Look.
You know what? It's a different topic.
All right. Okay.
That's thesis number 4, man.
So, guys, today we're going to have our last one. It's going to be the hot take.
Woo!
I have felt very strongly around this for a very long time.
This one.
So I'm glad I finally get this off my chest. Fellow Gambians, stop calling yourself Senegambian.
Man.
It's a one-way street. There's no such thing as Senegambian. You are not Senegambian.
You're Gambian.
You're Gambian. You're from Brufut.
You're from
Sukuta.
Yep.
Why? Remove the Senegalese flag from your bios, man. What's with this Senegambian business?
Yep.
Why? It's a one-way street. The average Senegalese ain't putting Gambian flag in their Instagram bio, bro.
That's tough.
When have you seen the Senegalese call themselves, I'm Senegambian?
No, never. That's just, like you said, it's a one-way street.
It's a one-way street.
Only Gambians claim Senegambian.
Stop claiming them like this. Stop seeking their validation. They don't love us back like that.
Yeah.
So I just think we need to stop this. There's a Senegambia territory.
Yeah.
But there's no such thing as a Senegambian identity.
Yep.
And I just don't think Senegalese claim us as that, like that.
Mm-hmm.
The only time maybe they might claim it is when their artists come to Gambia to exploit us. When have we gone?
Shout out to Uncle Yusuf.
Like there's all these Wally Sekas and this Yusuf Nurboy David. Since we were kids, this man comes in every December and fleeces us, bro.
And he says Gambia's his best spot.
Yeah, of course it is. But when are we going to see our own Gambian artists go and sell out an arena in Dakar?
I'm not.
When have you met a Senegalese in Senegal and they're identifying as Senegambian?
Yep.
I used to call their neighbors. Is a Malian calling themselves Senemalian? Nope. Is there Mauritanians?
No.
But why are we trying to get their validation? You don't get any social points. You don't get any cool points.
Yeah.
There's no social capital associated with you adding the Senegalese flag or calling yourself Senegambian.
If anything, it dilutes our Gambianness.
That's what I'm saying.
It dilutes who we are and our identity. And I think, and I don't think that's Pan-Africanism. I think Pan-Africanism is being able to recognize your fellow African brother, but also understanding that we've gone through so much as a continent that has defined who we are, and we cannot just, meander around it and make it what it's not. Senegambianism is a one-way street. You're 100% right. I've been to Senegal. We all have Senegalese
Yeah.
relatives. I've never once heard them, try to talk like Gambians. In
Nope.
fact, they laugh at how we speak Wolof.
100%.
You know,
I don't fancy their Wolof anyway. I think our Wolof is way
They say we
cooler
don't
than
speak the real Wolof.
their funny Wolof.
So,
Whatever.
yeah, it's a one-way street.
It is. They don't just love us back like that. I'm sorry, whether you like this or not, they just don't love us back like that. So stop trying to claim Senegal like that.
Yeah.
Like we love them in terms of the, we used to be we're one, we're all family, blah blah blah, kumbaya. That's all cool. But stop trying to gain social points or seeking their validation.
But don't you think it's a part of some sort of inferiority complex?
It is an inferiority complex. It is. It is. It's like, that big brother, you're trying to hang out with your big brother, you want their acceptance.
Yeah, the validation.
Your
It's validation.
You're seeking validation.
It really is.
And it dilutes us, like you said.
Yeah.
It dilutes us. Be proud of where you're from. You grew up in Gambia, your experiences, socioeconomically, family-wise, has only been Gambian. You've benefited nothing from being Senegalese. So why are you actually giving them credit for your identity?
Claiming them.
Stop it. This is embarrassing, please. I beg.
It says stand on your 10 toes.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So, but anyway, bro, this, we had to get it off our chest.
Yeah, we had to get it off, man.
I feel like it was a therapy session out here, bro. We had to, but ultimately we just want our progression.
Yes.
And to get rid of our baggage. And it's really a mindset shift. We want to be high performers.
Yes.
And to be high performers, it has to be collective.
Yep.
I can't be the only high-performing Gambian. You can't be the only high-performing Gambian in your field. We need a collective mindset. So I just hope by us having these conversations and holding ourselves accountable, we can get more Gambian men. Maybe next time we're having, a bigger meeting. And let's try and hold ourselves more accountable. And even us here being in the diaspora, let's really try and collectively, come together and find ways we can collectively, self-improve, don't gatekeep, share information,
100%.
and really progress together, because we come from the smallest country. We all know each other, so we just have to hold on to that and really move us to the next level beyond what our parents have set us up for. So that's all I have to say. Any parting words for you?
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think sometimes we just need to sit down and open our eyes and realize where we are in the global scale.
Yep.
We can no longer separate ourselves or isolate ourselves from the world, right? You have to look at where you are on the global scale. How are you performing in the global scale, right? So what does that gap look like? And like you mentioned, Gambia is a small country. That should not be a difficult thing to do. We should be able to recognize this and understand we have gaps. We need to change of mindset. We need to work together. We need to build those long-term those networks.
Facts.
We need to build those networks. Some of the challenges that we have is everyone wants to be successful individually. It's not encouraged to come together and work together as groups to own businesses together or even launch ventures together. Everyone wants to do everything in a siloed manner, and that speaks to our ego as well too. We are stronger together, obviously. So why aren't we pushing each other? I think that's going to be my parting word on this topic. It's a small country, man. We can do it.
I think in 10 years, with the right mindset, we can completely change the trajectory of our country.
100%.
It's that small.
100%.
So, man, I appreciate you, bro.
No, definitely.
Thank you for coming
This is a pleasure
to our podcast. And really, at least for me, it's refreshing in terms of being able to have another brother that I can resonate with.
Yeah.
And we just want the best for us. So thank you very much.
Absolutely.
That ends our episode. If you watch, thank you till this part of the time clip, I guess. Appreciate you for listening in. And please engage with us. Let us know what you think. And thank you for listening. And we'll be back for episode 6. Peace.
Peace.